everyone. My name is Casey Visser. I'm the Artistic Director at Billings Studio Theatre. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Spotlight on Arts and Culture, made possible by our friends at Billings Cultural Partners and Community 7 Television. Today we have a very special program focusing on a dear member of the BST family, Mr. Ted Kylander. We'll get to Ted in just a minute, but first our news and notes. Now, we're recording this on June 4th, 2026, so if you're watching this much later, just disregard this. 1776 is set to open tomorrow night. Tickets are on sale, but they are going fast. For example, Sundays and a few other nights are already sold out, so please don't wait. You can get your tickets at billingsstudiotheatre.com, that's 24/7, or call the box office 248-1141. Leave a message if you don't catch us during box office hours, which are Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 3. Leave a message, Kayla or someone will get back to you. Also, season tickets are on sale for our 74th season, which kicks off in September with the show Come From Away. Now, those season tickets will be on sale until September 27th, 2026, but we are running a great early bird special until June the 20th. Now remember, if you are a season ticket holder, you save some money, but you also can make your reservations a week before the general public. So huge advantage there. We have some auditions set for you. Our first show of the year, as I said, is Come From Away. Those auditions will be June 14th and 15th at 7 p.m. down at the PAC. The address there is 1645 First Avenue North. Again, 1645 First Ave North. That show is directed by my friend Burl Skovgaard. If you have any questions, reach out to me at casey@bststage.com. That's my email. Lastly, we have our first ever BST benefit golf tournament at Peter Yegan Golf Club. That will be on Friday, August 21st at 2 p.m. Stop by the theater for a flyer, or check out the website, or visit with me for more information on that. All right, that's all of our housekeeping items tidied up. Now on to Ted. Ted, you have been, I've struggled how to phrase this, a jack of all trades at BST for 27 years.
Yep.
You're not an employee, but you've spent countless hours giving your time, talent, expertise, hard work, blood, sweat, and tears to our community. So we wanted to celebrate you, honestly, and chat a little bit and encourage other folks to get involved with BST or whatever community organization. So we're going to start out. What do you like about theater in general?
Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
I was not sure why you invited me.
I think I answered that.
Yeah, you answered that. When I first started at BST, I didn't know anything about theater. And I think over the years, it has just gotten into my blood, so to speak.
Nice.
It's, working with people. It's learning different things that you didn't do. And at my age, and when I first started to now, I learn something different every time I go over to the theater.
Absolutely.
And just the different people. And this might sound a little contrite coming from me, but I do hear a lot of people say, well, we're family.
Right.
And that's certainly true, but for me, it's a community theater.
Right.
And I think of everybody in it as part of that community. And I think every show that I did, that became my family.
Right.
And sometimes you never see those people again.
Right. Or sometimes you see them in the next show.
Sometimes they're in the next show, or they show up doing something else.
Right.
So I think that's what theater's pretty much, come to me, and
right.
I think the theater has come to me more than I've come to the theater, to be honest with you.
I think it's both. Yeah. In community theater, I love you saying that. There's two words there.
Yeah.
The community is super important. Obviously, the theater is important. Yeah. And your wife has done theater as well, so that's kind of a shared.
Well, actually,
interest.
For one thing, one of the reasons why I got into the theater in the first place is that she was doing shows. she would be at rehearsal or whatever.
Right.
And I didn't realize how much time
Right.
people put into
Right.
shows before the show actually starts. And you know, and I would always say, why are you rehearsing until 10:30 and 11 o'clock at night and da-da-da-da, and how come I never see you? And she said, well, why don't you find something you can do at the theater?
Right.
And it just so happened that back then they were doing dark nights. And when there was nothing going on at the theater,
Sure.
and there was some couple of shows coming up, and somebody, I don't remember who, said they need somebody for a show coming up, Camping with Henry and Tom.
Okay.
And I went, okay, what do I do? Well, that was a bad question to ask because I ended up doing everything.
Everything. Yes.
I didn't know anything about, you know, stage managing. I didn't know anything about props.
Right.
I didn't know how to deal with actors. I didn't even know how to deal backstage, what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I ended up shooting a gun off stage.
Stage gun. Good.
And I went, okay, I kind of like this.
Right. And that was what, 1999?
That was 2000.
2000 even. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, right. 2000. So,
Wow.
You know, and so I guess I must have done okay because I had a couple of directors ask me
To help out.
Would you mind
Right.
ADing for me, or would you
Right.
mind stage managing?
And speaking of which, what we always know you for your Cubs hats,
Yeah.
but what hats have you worn at BST? You know, you mentioned, you know, assistant directing. What are some of the roles you've played there at BST?
Actually, I guess just about everything backstage.
Sure.
You know, I've assisted directed. I have stage managed a lot of plays.
Right.
I have done stage construction. I've propped shows. I have now run the prop department downstairs.
Right.
I have designed a couple of sets, and now I'm basically, or then I kind of motivated myself back into just doing stage construction. And I just, this past year, have decided that I can't do the things that I need to do
Right.
to be effective building sets.
Well, physically it can be quite.
Well,
quite
I just couldn't
taxing,
get up
yeah.
on ladders, the
Absolutely.
14-foot ladders we're doing, and reach way out
Yeah,
with a
exactly.
drill and doing
Right,
all the
right,
things
right,
and
right.
climbing under platforms,
Right.
and it just got too much for me.
Right. Leaving it to the younger folks.
Yeah.
Good.
I really miss that.
Sure.
To be honest, it was a big part of what I enjoyed doing
Right.
over there.
Right. So typically, how many hours a week would you? And the word volunteer doesn't cover it, right? But how many hours a week would you be working at BST?
It
Typical.
varied. When I was doing shows and I was stage managing and props and helping build the sets, I was probably over there a good 4 or 5 hours a day.
Wow. Right.
Jeff Juice did not start until about 10 o'clock, and
Right.
sometimes I'd go until 3:34.
Right.
When I was just building sets prior, I would probably come over around 9:30 and leave around 1:30,
Right.
just about every day.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jeff Boshi, our longtime tech director, passed away a few years ago. Just a legend. So it's such a big question, but what's your favorite, or some of your favorite things about BST? You mentioned the community, the opportunities. What do you like about the organization?
Well, I guess it's a simple answer, really.
Okay.
It's just the people.
Oh.
Over my years, I've had a number of people who really kind of took me under their wing
Right.
and let me do things that I didn't even think I could do.
Empowered you.
Yeah, pretty much, and said,
Yeah.
you got this, and you can do this. And I think Jeff, of course, was my biggest person that took me under his wing and said, hey,
Right.
I need help. Can you do this? Can you do that? I don't think he trusted me at first. But as we moved through the years, I think Jeff pretty much would let me kind of go. He would just tell me what to do.
Right.
And I'd go do it.
Right.
And that was really kind of...
That was trust.
That was a lot of trust on Jeff's part. And if anybody knows Jeff, you know what that took for him to do that. Bobby Hawk, she came to me after I had stage managed a couple of shows she was in, and she said, hey, I like what you do. Would you do our shows? Bobby and I probably did together, whether she was in a show or directing a show, probably about 20 shows.
Yes. I was in a few of them.
Yeah, you were in a few of them.
Great time.
Then Eric Hendrick, when he was director, I did a lot of shows with Eric.
Yeah.
One of them that I really want to mention was Elaine Kennard. She started me off doing props in The Foreigner.
Okay.
And I ran props for that show.
Sure.
And I loved that show. It was fun.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's just the people and the people I had associations with, and people that were in shows.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, I learned how to do things from a lot of people. I learned how not to do things from a few people. I won't say who they are, but you know, it's just the journey.
Absolutely.
I've had so much fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's funny you mention Elaine. She's doing props for 1776 for us. You know.
You know, she took me under her wing, so to speak, and I remember a lot of times she would say, well, no, that doesn't look right, or no, this doesn't look right. It's not the period for this, or whatever. So I learned a lot about that, even from Jeff, that door doesn't fit this this set, or whatever, you know, whatever that is. And I can always remember, and still think about it, is that you spend about 2 or 3 weeks looking for something. And then it's on stage for 10 seconds.
Maybe,
you know. And I found out that was really frustrating, but some of those pieces like that are very important. And you never know until you actually see it on stage.
Well, and Don Havoc says this, one of our longtime actors, the excellence is in the details. And I love that quote,
Well, and that's one of the things that Jeff kind of let me do. I mean, we would do the broad scope of the set and everything, and then he'd say, well, you know, the attention is to the detail. He says, you've got more attention to detail than I do. And I said, yeah, probably, but that's what I think finishes a set.
Absolutely.
And Elaine taught me that too. You know,
and we were talking before we were rolling here, the set's almost like another character, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Describe to me what you feel the importance of a good set is.
Well, you know, I think, like, coming in here and the lady that mentioned how good the set was for Farce of Nature. Yeah. And I think one of the first things that people see when they come into the theater and sit down in their seat, whether the curtain's closed or not, is the set. And that's the first impression they have. That moment
they get to see it for the first time.
And what the play may or may not be. And I think that's why a set really plays that other character in a play. And I can't tell you how many times people come up to me and said, boy, that set really
helped tell the story.
Good, and it was really, you know, set the tone for the play. Conversely, I've also had people tell me, what happened to the set? And I go, no, that wasn't me. You know, but
people share their opinions. What?
yeah, that's hard to believe, right? But so it plays a very, very important role, and you know, I'm not saying it will make or break a show, but it also provides the actors room to do their thing and have a familiarity with their surroundings and all of that. And that's why it's so important. And I can remember that Jeff always told me, he said, the sooner we get up the set, the better the actors will like it, and the better the actors will do.
They'll just be comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, we're all storytellers. We're all just trying to tell the story.
Yeah.
One of my joys, I've been in my job here for 2.5 years, is watching you and Jana Lindy work.
Oh.
Now, Jana is our tech manager is her title.
Yeah.
Explain how you've gotten on with Jana and her genius. She's a very gifted young lady.
She is, and I give her a lot of credit for jumping in and taking Jeff's spot. That was not
easy.
An easy position to be put in. And her and I talked a little bit, and I said, you just have to be yourself.
Right.
And you know how to do things. So I said, don't try to be Jeff.
Right.
Jeff was exemplar in what he did, and
Right.
he'd been around for 30 some years.
Right.
And I said, so just be yourself, know what you can do and
Right.
do it. And I said, then when you deal with directors or whatever,
Right.
I said, stand your ground on what you know you can do and
Right.
what the show needs or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
They'll come and tell you what they want, but maybe that's not
Feasible.
something that
Right.
we can do in the theater.
Right.
And I think Jen and I have gotten along really well.
You have. It's been fun to watch.
And I think that, she's taught me a lot too. You get somebody else in the theater and they bring a skill set
Right.
that you don't really know about. I think that one of the things that I like about specific things and how we build things is you learn to be so creative. And
Yeah.
different people, like
Right.
you mentioned Don Habig.
Right.
What he did with Rudolph.
Oh yeah, he's our special
And-
projects guy.
Yeah, and he has a special skill set, and I'm in awe sometimes of what Don does.
Yeah.
And I think people that go to 1776 will see some of that.
Yeah. He created some special pieces for us. Yeah.
And so it's been fun, and Jana's had 2 young children now.
Yeah. Yes.
And having those 2, and particularly with her young son
Yeah,
running around,
yeah.
and I used to carry him around, and
Yeah.
he'd have a dry paintbrush, and he'd
Yeah,
pretend like he was
paint.
painting it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was different,
Yeah.
but
Well,
a
and
lot
you
of
guys
fun.
were a heck of a team, and I tell her this all the time. People who come to all our shows can't believe that one person designed all those sets and helped to build them, and you obviously helped her as well.
Well,
It's amazing. So, and we've got about 10 minutes left. What are some favorite memories? And this will be tough. Favorite memories of your time at BST?
I could take 100 minutes.
Yes.
Each show has a special memory. I think the first show I did, I've got a lot of memories of that show.
Right. Right.
I think when people ask me kind of that question, I said, well, there's some shows I wished would have went on forever.
Right.
There's some shows I wished would have closed opening night.
Right.
But everyone brings a special memory to me. There's a lot of things, and I think people would be surprised if they ever saw a show from backstage,
Right.
because there are so many moving parts backstage and so many people doing this or that. I think one of my big memories is, and I may not have the show right, but I think it should have been you.
Okay.
And it wasn't the show that actually went on stage. It was the one that we were building and had finished the night before, and AJ come and said the next day the theater shut down due to COVID.
Yeah, so this was March of 2020.
Whatever that
Yeah,
was.
Yeah, right.
21, I guess.
Yeah.
But I remember just walking out going, we just finished this set.
Right.
And that day we started tearing it down.
Yeah. Wow.
And that holds a real big memory for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sure.
It was really tough.
Oh, absolutely.
And, sorry.
No, you're good.
I think probably a couple of shows that I really like doing. Guys on Ice.
Right, those Wisconsin
Yeah.
musicals.
And the show was so much, but we had to have Leinenkugel beers, and we had to have it in a can.
And it was called for in the script, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
And I ended up calling the brewery in Wisconsin and got this lady, and she goes, "Oh, are you guys doing Guys on Ice?" Yeah.
Yeah, she's got this question before,
Yeah.
right?
So we had to have,
Right.
we were thinking about having it shipped because it had to be cans, and you couldn't get
Right.
cans across the Mississippi or the Missouri or whatever it
Right.
was. So they were going to drop ship us.
Right.
Well, the smallest size they would drop ship us was like 23 cases.
Oh my goodness.
And so Vincent Ray and I were going to go
Right.
drive
Really
and
great
meet
actor,
somebody.
did a ton
Yeah.
of shows with us. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Bobby's husband, and
Right.
we were going to drive all day and all night back, and we ended up using Coors cans,
right.
and we put Leinenkugel labels on them and
Right.
everything.
And people thought it was, yeah.
Part of the thing that we did was that there was during intermission, Jeff ran this auction,
Sure.
and one night, and one of the auction items was a 2-pack of Leinenkugel, and he gave the guy won it, and he came up and do it. We opened the second act, and all of a sudden there was this,
Right.
and then a kind of a deal, and then, "This isn't Leinenkugel's, this is Coors," and the whole show just shut down, and everybody in the
died,
audience
yeah.
just laughed.
Laughed.
I mean, you can't script those
No,
kind of
oh,
things,
no,
you know.
no. Yeah,
And
that's fun.
But you know, I've done some shows with Diane, my wife,
Sure.
over the tavern. One of the ones that I'm really proud of because I did everything in that show
Right.
except act in it
Right.
and directed. Bobby directed it,
Right.
and that was Velocity of Auto.
Oh yeah, great show.
That was
yeah.
Vincent and Diane was in that.
Right.
And like I said, I designed the set. I followed a tree cutting service for 2 weeks because the set called for a tree outside the deal that the character had to climb and then
Right.
go through a second-story window and then fall into his mother's apartment.
Right.
So I had to find this piece of tree that was sturdy enough
Wow.
for Vincent to climb in and
Sure.
then fall out. And
Right.
you know that was kind of strange.
Yeah.
And nobody would really do that. You know. So, but I have done. I think I counted up. I did 22 shows in 11 seasons.
Wow.
And I think I did, in 2007, I did 4 shows.
Wow.
So if you think of audition time, rehearsal time, set building time,
Right.
getting
Show
props,
run, yeah,
doing
yeah.
everything, the show runs,
Right.
I was pooped at the end of that
Absolutely.
season.
Well,
I
and this
just-
is so good for the public to understand
Yeah.
what goes into one of these shows.
Yeah.
I mean, they come and see a great show and have a
Yeah.
good couple hours or whatever, but we're working on this for months and months.
Yeah, well, and there was, I should get my notes because I can't remember all.
Oh,
of
you're
them,
good.
but,
We've got about 5 minutes
yeah.
left, Ted.
So anyway, all the shows have a special memory.
Right.
Something happened or something didn't happen or whatever.
Right.
One night was different than another night.
Right.
You know. So yeah.
But you're right. Every show, and it doesn't matter. I mean, we're kind of redoing some shows. I mean, 1776 we did in 2002. We're redoing it this year, but it's a completely different show because you
yeah.
have a different cast,
Yeah.
and they'll never be the same cast, together.
And different people will see it
Exactly.
at a different time.
Yeah, exactly. So let's wrap this up with why should people get involved either with BST or NOVA or whatever community organization? Why should folks be giving of their time?
Well, I think if anybody's looking for an avenue to fill their time and, want to volunteer for something,
Right.
the Billings Studio Theatre is a great place. And one of the things I always slays me is when I'm at the grocery store or something, people say, well, what do you do and blah, blah, blah in your
Right.
retirement? I say, well, I volunteer at Billings Studio Theatre. They go, where's that? And I go, you don't know where Billings Studio Theatre is?
Right.
You know,
And we've been here 73 years.
You're living
Yeah.
under a rock?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I think it's a great place to meet people of an ilk that they join together to produce a product
Right.
that everybody's proud of and the time it takes. But it takes a special person to do a set. We've had a lot of people come in, they're carpenters, they're whatever,
Right.
and they want to help build a set, which is great. But they want to build it like they're building a house that's going to last for
Totally different.
100 years or something.
Right. Totally different.
We build a set to last for
3
3 weeks,
Yeah.
and
Right.
then we got to take it down
Right.
in 3 hours or less at night on
Right.
the closing
Strike,
night,
yeah.
and start it over again.
Exactly.
And that's what I liked about the theater is
Yeah.
because it's always changing, something new. But I think it's really important that people should look at BST because there's so many places
Right.
that you can volunteer.
Yes.
So many niches you can fill.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be set building, but you could get involved with, I know a lot of people that just started working backstage.
Right. Stage crew.
Be in the stage crew.
Right.
You know, just taking things back and forth or whatever in the
Right.
dark.
Yeah.
But
it's
you
a-
know,
yeah.
and
Huge part of the show.
yeah,
Huge
you
part
know,
of the show.
and
yeah.
so I would really encourage people to call you or call
Yeah.
Nancy
Call the
or
box office,
Kaylee,
yeah, yeah.
Kayla at the box office,
Yeah.
and just see what's available. Maybe you just start like I did.
Right.
You just kind of jump
Or
in.
if
and,
you want to usher, or if
Yeah.
you want to be a house manager.
yeah,
Yeah.
or, you know, whatever. And it's just a great place to be. I can't tell you how many times I would think, and that's why it was so hard for me to
Right.
give up certain
Right,
things.
but,
And
you're
now
not
I'm just-
retiring. You're retiring
know,
from the set building.
I'm
but you're
kind of
still-
moving in the basement where
Yeah, you're
nobody
the
sees
props.
me
Yeah, you're the
anymore,
prop
down
guy.
doing the props.
Right.
I do want to mention, and I think one of the questions you would ask me about is what my dream show would be.
Yeah, and we've got a minute left, my
okay,
friend.
and I'm going to do a commercial for my
Yes.
wife.
Good.
Because you know,
Right.
the show Fairy Tale Christmas is
Right.
something I would really love to see BST
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah.
And whether it's on main stage or whether it's the growth stage or whatever,
Right.
it's music by
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris. Yeah.
Had a brain fart, and very good stuff. It's a kind of a show for adults and kids together.
Right.
I would really like BST to do that.
Written by your wife. Yeah.
She was, and the music is by Ed Harris.
Right.
So yeah, that's
That's a dream. Good.
yeah.
So Ted, on behalf of Nancy and myself and Eric Hendricks and AJ Kylander, former executive directors, we cannot thank you enough for everything you've done. Truly.
It's been
And
my
again, you're not
pleasure.
retiring. You're going to do another 27 years with us, hopefully. But thank you so much.
I would be remiss to say that I really give my wife kudos for allowing me to do that. Same as I did for her a little bit, but
Good. Good.
we're both in our 80s now. So
Right.
I hope she doesn't mind me saying that.
No.
But it has been my pleasure to do what I could at BST.
Good, thank you. And thank you once again, Billings Cultural Partners Community 7 Television. We'll see you next time. Thank you.